Hello again, friends. Welcome back to our Lenten video series. Hope you're having a great day on this Friday during Lent. Say, have you guys ever played the game called The Human Knot, right? Everyone kind of gets into a big circle together and starts grabbing other people's hands, and it naturally makes a big knot. And the point of the game is that people have to kind of move around and change positions and try to untangle the big knot until everyone is finally free and in a circle again. It's a fun game to kind of play. We play it with a lot of our youth groups and whatnot. And I start with that because I wanted to share a little bit today about our gospel reflection. And I'm just going to read a little bit of that. It says this: "You have heard that it was said to your ancestors, 'You shall not kill, and whoever kills will be liable to judgment. But I say to you, whoever is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment.'" And as I was reading through this gospel reflection today and praying through it, something came to my mind. And what I love about our Catholic faith and about our Lord is that Jesus always pushes us to go deeper. And in this passage, we see that Jesus is bringing forth the commandment, "Thou shalt not kill," right? And many of us, we know that, like in our hearts, like, okay, that's a commandment, we're not to kill people. And we might be tempted to say, okay, great, well, I've done that in my life, I'm haven't killed anybody. But then Jesus looks at you and me and to those that he was speaking to and says, hey, I'm going to actually challenge you to go deeper. And what does he say? He says, "But I say to you, whoever is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment." You see how Jesus is challenging us to go deeper in this commandment. And the reality is, we know that we are not supposed to kill. But if we're true with ourselves and we look inside of our hearts, we realize that anger twists us all up. And really, that's what sin is. Sin is like a twisting and makes us like one big knot, like that game, the human knot. And Jesus doesn't want us to live at a superficial level. He wants us to go deeper and to say, hey, those things that have you all twisted up, those things that have you in knots, you've got to untwist that. And for us during this Lent, as we're continuing to try to say, how do we live in mission? One of the most important things that we have to do is we need to look in our lives, in our hearts, and to say, what are those things that have us all twisted up inside? And even though people, as we walk down the road, they might say, hey, that person looks like they have it all together. Every single one of us, if we're true to ourselves, we've got things that twist us up. And when we start to go deeper beneath the surface and say, God, I want to allow you to get into those places, to untwist, it actually helps us to live to be more free. Because when we're all knotted up, we're actually slaves. And Jesus says to you and to me today, you're not made to be a slave. You are made to be free. And when we start to cooperate with God's grace, when we enter more deeply into prayer, and we start to say, hey, I'm going to untwist those things in my life that are holding me back, it does lead to freedom. And think about that in that human knot game, when finally you get to the point after all the hardship and moving around and trying to untwist, when you finally get to that point where we're all sitting in a circle together, it's amazing, the taste of freedom. And the same is with the spiritual life. Sometimes it can be daunting and like, this is so hard. How do I attain this freedom? But Jesus says, hey, go deeper. Untwist the twistedness of your heart. And when we do that, the beautiful thing, it helps us to live more free so that we can live in mission. Have a good day. God bless you.